What changes when a woman turns 30? Basically, a whole lot, okay? Because if she's still single and now 30 years old or older than that, she knows instinctually that she cannot lock down the same level of men that she would have been able to lock down 10 years earlier when she was 20. Okay, so when these girls turn 30 and they're still single, unmarried, I did a coaching video on this before, they tend to be damaged goods. Okay, now am I saying all women? No, of course not. I'm just saying most. Okay, so if you're the rare exception of unicorn of a woman out there that this video doesn't apply to, don't bother dropping the hater comment. I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about most women. Okay, just because you're the rare unicorn out there does not automatically disqualify the majority of women out there that are damaged goods, that passed up all the good guys in their 20s and are now in their 30s riding the CC, right guys? So what really changes when a woman hits 30 is her standards lower, okay? So now that she instinctually knows she can't lock down the same level of guy that she could before 10 years earlier, she's gonna lower her standards a bit. Right? So you guys who were not able to get her in her 20s, you're going to have a lot more opportunity when she's finally in her 30s. And some of you guys might have experienced this, right? You might have been friends with a girl who in their 20s didn't want to give you the time of day, right? But now she's in her 30s, maybe 40s, even 50s, if so. She's totally willing to drop her pants for you. And you're like, wow, you know, she finally saw the light. She finally saw what a great guy I am. All those free dinners and free drinks finally paid off. And it's like, no, not really. She just knows that she can't lock down those high value guys anymore. So she's just lowered her standards a bit. So now you have a crack at her. Right? This is why they have that saying, which I've done a coaching video on already, called date the alpha, marry the beta. Right? Because most women in their 20s, they date the alpha and then they end up marrying the beta. Right? I've had a number of girls that I've dated in the 90s, the 2000s, even the early 2010s that have now gotten married, and I've seen who they've married, and I can understand why. You know, and I'm not putting those guys down, but I could see why they decided to go with a guy who is more controllable. You know, a guy who's going to come home at night, a guy that they can rely on more just because he's more of a safe bet to raise a family with, right? I mean, you probably don't want to raise a family with a guy like me. At least not right now, maybe in the future, you know, but just not now. So when a woman turns 30, she knows she does not have as many options as she did when she was younger, right? It's just human nature. It's just the way it goes, right? She knows that she doesn't. I know I have a lot of women love to comment on these type of videos. Like I did one called 30 is not the new 20. I did another one called, you know, women over 30 are damaged goods, single women over 30 are damaged goods. And a lot of these chicks who, surprise, surprise, are still single, over 30, and are damaged goods, had dropped their little toxic hater comment talking about, oh, you think this doesn't apply to men? Men over 32 are damaged goods. They're damaged goods, they're still single. It's like, no, you don't understand male to female sexual interdynamics. You don't understand how it works. A woman's SMV value versus a man's SMV value. Two very, very different things, because a man really doesn't hit his peak until his mid-30s to mid-40s. And I've said this before, from the guys that I've seen out in the field, not only students of mine, but just guys I see in LA, these guys can be in their mid-50s and they're still crushing it, right? So I don't know if I really trust that stat either, but obviously, it's all pointing to the same thing, that men don't hit their prime until later in life. Every study you see out there will point to this. Whereas for women, they really hit their peak in their late teens to early 20s. That's really a woman's peak, right? This is why I advise any females that watch my channel, like, hey, if you're still a hot chick and you're still young, lock down the high value guy now. Do it now, because you're gonna have a really tough time trying to do that shit later. You're not going to be able to get the same quality level guy that you could have gotten when you were younger, right? Don't shoot the messenger. This is just based on factual statistics and research, right? Don't attack me for it. But when a woman turns 30, she doesn't have the same desirability that she did when she was younger. That's just the way it is. So thus, because she knows this, you know, in her gut, she knows this, she lowers her standards. I get a lot of haters too who say things like, oh, you only go after these young women, these younger women because they're easier to manipulate, they're easier to pick up. And it's like, no, you obviously have not done game. The hardest women to pick up out there are women who are under 25. Those are the toughest women to pick up because those are the women who have the cream of the crop at their feet. They have high value guys at their feet every single day, especially in LA. Okay, these are the hardest women to pick up because they have so many options. They have so much choice, right? And they have guys just pummeling them with attention all day long. Whereas a woman in their 30s, 40s, 50s, you don't have that kind of attention anymore. Okay, and you know that. That's why you're so much easier to pick up. So make no mistake, girls who are younger, that takes a lot more work, a lot more game, a lot more skill to pick these girls up. So do not kid yourself. It's so foolish when girls write stuff like that. It's like, you're joking, right? Because it's like you're failing to even look at your own dating career and look back when you were in your late teens, early 20s. You had a lot more options then than you do now. So what are you talking about? You can't even see your own like dating profile. I always love when these women write comments like, as a woman, let me tell you, this guy's wrong. As a woman, and it's like, dude, as a woman, if you've never dated a woman, shut your mouth, right? If you've never dated a woman in your life, shut your mouth, because you don't know how your little girlfriends are. I love it when women's like write stuff like, as a woman, he's wrong. It's like, no, as a woman, you have no self-awareness. You don't know how women are, how they act when they're not around other women. They act very different. Okay, this is why when I'm out in venues and I've got a girl who wants to get physical with me, wants to pull me in the bathroom, wants to make out with me or do more, that girl will always pull me away from her friends. She'll always be like, meet me over there. I'm gonna sneak away from my friends, right? Why wouldn't she just do it in front of her friends? She doesn't want to do it in front of her friends because she doesn't want to feel like a slut. She doesn't want them thinking she's a slut, and she doesn't want them knowing what she's about to do with me. There was even this 2020 story they did once on a feminist, right? It was a feminist. I forget her name, but it's somewhere on YouTube. But it was a 2020 segment where a feminist went undercover as a man. Okay, she went undercover as a man to, I don't know what her reasoning was for this, but she did, right? She cut her hair to look like a man and got some clothes, and she really did look like a man. She passed as a man. And then she went and tried to pick up women. And a feminist, like she admitted what bitches women are. She was like, oh my gosh, she was like, as a woman, I thought I knew women. I thought that just being sensitive and appealing to their emotions would get them attracted to me because I'm a woman. That's what works on me. And then she quickly realized, like, these chicks were even meaner to me. They were like cold and they flaked and they were bitches. Yeah, all you chicks, you're as a woman. No, you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know women. The thing about women in their 30s also is they know their biological clock is ticking. They know that they have to find a mate to impregnate her and settle down with, right? And they know they can't be as picky as they were in their 20s because if they try to stay that picky, they're gonna probably stay single well into their 40s and 50s, you know? And you see a lot of single women in their 40s and 50s who've made that mistake, trying to stay as picky as she was in her 20s. And then she just stays single. Right? And the longer that this woman is single, the more louder she's going to get, the more mouthy, the more disrespectful, the more ball breaking. This is why I tell you guys, don't date women over 30. They're damaged goods, right? Single women over 30. Okay, I'm not talking about married women. Okay, you married women, you know, you're smart enough to know I'm not talking about you because most women who are married, happy, have a family, they're not hating in my comment section. They're really like supporting my coaching videos. They're like, yeah, it's true. Right? Then they're getting attacked by these single, unmarried women over 30 and these single moms like, shut up, you stupid bitch. Shut up. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So when a woman hits her 30s, she knows her biological clock is ticking and she knows that she only has a few more years to have a child. And she knows the longer she waits, the more likely she is going to have complications in trying to have a baby, right? especially if she's like hitting her late 30s, early 40s, the more chance there is for that baby to end up being a miscarriage or end up being born with some sort of physical ailment or retardation or, you know, just something wrong with the kid, you know, some sort of handicap. So it's better, she knows it's better to have kids as young as possible, okay? While she's still fertile, before her eggs dry up. Right? And a lot of women are starting to like freeze their eggs even, which is really creepy. It's like super creepy when I hear about women, I want to freeze my eggs. It's like super creepy. All you girls who do that, creepy, right? So you have to be careful, guys, because some of you guys, you know, still dating these girls because you haven't gained enough skill yet to pick up the younger women. You're still like not in mastery, my program. You're still out there using the skills that you were taught by Hollywood movies and television shows to pick up girls, and all that's getting you are the single moms, women over 30 in their 30s, 40s, 50s, all the women who are damaged goods. It's not getting you the cream of the crop, which is what me and my students are getting. Yeah, that's why I got to get in mastery, all right? Quick plug for my program. If you're not in there already. If you are, thank you very much. If you're watching this now and you're in mastery, but you guys out there who are dating these women over 30, just know that she is looking to get pregnant, right? She is looking to have a family, and she probably won't tell you that, right? How many times have you heard a girl be like, I can't get pregnant, just go inside me. I can't get pregnant. I know my body. It's okay, you can do it. And the next thing you know, that chick gets pregnant. You're jacked, you're screwed. It seems like it's mostly women over 30 who do that too. Just go inside me, it's okay. Right? I don't hear that from like women in their 20s that I date. They don't really say stuff like that. Just go inside, it's okay. They don't really say that. It's like women over 30. It's like, hey, why are you trying to sell this so hard? Like, relax. Right? It's because she's trying to get pregnant. She's trying to have a baby. She knows her biological clock is ticking. Right? So there is a huge difference between dating women in their 20s versus their 30s, okay? Because a woman in her 20s is still looking to travel. She's still looking to be single. She's still looking to explore life, get to know herself better, you know, just be with her friends more and do more active things without being tied down yet. Whereas a woman in her 30s has already done that, right? And you might see a lot of these women's dating profiles, right? In their dating profile, it'll be like, I've had my fun, now I'm ready for you. I've had my fun. You know, and it's like, oh, no, screw you. What do you mean you've had your fun? What does that mean? It's like, I couldn't have had fun with you in your 20s? What, I'm not worth it? Right, now you're ready for me? Yeah, now I'm ready for you. You'll see a lot of these women post stuff like that. I've had my fun, and I'm just looking for my soulmate now. It's like, now you're looking for your soulmate? So you have to be careful of these women, right? If they're over 30 and they're still single, unmarried, they're looking to have babies. So watch yourselves, guys. Watch yourselves. And like I said, most of these women in my previous coaching video, hate to say it, are damaged goods, right? Am I saying all? Did I say all? No, I never say all. I'm saying most, okay? Just because you're that rare unicorn of a woman that is not like that, it does not disqualify the overwhelming majority of women out there that are damaged goods, that are still single, unmarried, that spent their 20s like kicking nice guys in the balls and going after the bad boys, going after the guys who never call them back, never show up for dates, flake on them, pump and dump, you know? You guys who kicked all those nice guys aside and now are still single, trying to lock down a high-value guy, you're exactly who I'm talking about. And if you're going to hate in the comment section below, the reason why you're hating is because you're so triggered by this video. Why? Because it applies to you, right? It applies to you. So if you want to hate below, go ahead and do that. If you want to do a personal attack, go ahead and do that. That's all you got because you know it's true. Huge difference between dating women in their 20s versus their 30s. Women in their 20s are going to be a lot harder to pick up, but this is why you need skill. This is why you need game. This is why I keep plugging 7 months of mastery and the 33 secrets. You know, but if you're not in the program and you're just going out there based on the game that you've learned from television, movies, mainstream media, The View, right? You're going to get what you get. You get what you pay for. So you're going to get those type of women, women over 30, the single moms, the low-hanging fruit, women who are damaged goods. Women who are trying to get pregnant. Women that if you do get pregnant, now you got to send her like a $300 alimony check every month. It's a lot more expensive than my program, right? Every single month, $300 for the next 18 years. you got to fire a check to this chick because you weren't able to get a younger, hotter woman who wouldn't have done that to you. All right? Because the mating strategies between a woman who's in her 20s versus a woman in her 30s is vastly different. A woman in her 20s, especially her early 20s, is not trying to get pregnant. Okay, these are the women I teach you guys how to go after. These chicks are not trying to get pregnant, right? Whereas a woman in her 30s is trying to get pregnant. Even if she's in her 40s, she's really trying to get pregnant. Okay, do not let her fool you. And women who are in their 50s who've already gone through menopause, right? They've already, they can't have children anymore. You'll notice these chicks revert back to withholding sex. So it's not like they're even more sexually open. No, now that they know that they can't have kids and they can't get anything out of you, they purposely withhold sex to extract something else out of you. Guess what it is? Money, right? To get you to pay for dinners and endless dates and dates and dates, right? In order to work your way up to having sex with her. It's like you have to go on 20 dates just to get a kiss. You know, so once these women hit their 50s and they know they can't have kids anymore and they know they can't extract that family life out of you because they can't have a baby anymore, they're going to extract what they can, which, like I said, is money. Free dinners, free this, free that, gifts, cars, you name it. Right? Anybody who's dumb enough to give a 50-year-old woman that who's still single and unmarried, God help you. But when a woman hits her 50s and she can't have kids, she's going to start withholding sex all over again because she's going to want to try to extract as much value, financial value, as she can from you. Whereas a woman in her 30s, she's more worried about having a baby and then extracting financial resources from you that way. Whereas a woman in her 20s does not want, she really doesn't care about either one of those, much to a lot of chagrin of other women going, no, younger women will only date an older man for money. And it's like, no, just because you're that way, it doesn't mean all young women are that way. So don't paint all young women with a broad brush just because you're a prostitute. Okay, just because you're a prostitute and you think that way doesn't automatically make all these other women just like you prostitutes. So that is what happens when a woman turns 30. A lot of big changes. You're not dealing with the same type of girl that you would have been dealing with had she been 10 years younger. Okay, you're dealing with a completely different animal here, completely different type of woman. And it's important that you understand that. You know, and her sexual market value in her 30s is nowhere near as where it was in her 20s. She does not have the same power she did when she was younger, more attractive, had a tighter body. Now she's older, fatter, looser, less attractive. She doesn't have that same power. She doesn't have those options anymore. So she's going to lower her standards. And like I said, her primary focus in her 30s is to have a child at your expense. In her 40s, she's really going to be looking to do that if she could still get pregnant. And then in her 50s, when she can't have a baby anymore, already went through menopause, that's when she goes back to withholding sex. So you see the cycle here, guys. You see the cycle. This is why I tell you guys it's better to date younger women in their 20s, preferably under 25. And in my coaching program, 7 Months of Mastery, I teach you how to do that. Speaking of which, let's wrap up today's coaching video. Don't forget to smash that like button below. Do that now. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you are notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on YouTube. Better yet, guys, I really appreciate if you do this for me. I want you to pay attention. I want you to subscribe to my channel, okay? Hit that subscribe button as well. Too many of you guys are still not yet subscribed to my channel. You're watching all these coaching videos, but you're not yet subscribed. So please subscribe to my channel. It's free, it doesn't cost anything. And anytime I upload a brand new coaching video to YouTube, you will be the first to get it, okay? You will be the first to get it. And for you guys who want to support my work and support my content and everything I'm teaching guys here, all this red pill knowledge even further, the best way to do that is by joining my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I am teaching guys just like you how to go out there and approach and close the youngest and most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking 8s, 9s, and 10s. And no, I'm not talking about single moms. I'm not talking about low-hanging fruit. I'm not talking about women over 30 who are damaged goods. I'm not talking about party girls. I'm talking about young, beautiful, high caliber women. Okay, the type of women that myself and my students are out there approaching and closing every single week. And I kid you not, every single week. If you don't believe me, Follow me on Instagram. I'm constantly posting new photos of myself out in field, approaching these beautiful women, young, beautiful women, half my age. I'm still doing it. Even at my age, I'm still making it happen. I have no plans to retire anytime soon. I'm like Tom Brady. I just can't quit playing, right? I'm like Tom Brady out there. So you can do this too, right? I've got students in my 30s, their 40s, even their 50s, still making things happen. And they're using the lessons, all the coaching lessons that they learned from me in 7 months to mastery, right? And these are lessons that you can use for the rest of your life, for the remainder of your life, right? In every aspect of your life, even beyond just dating beautiful women. It's that valuable. And the first month is only $1, okay? It's only $1 for the entire first month of coaching lessons. And right now I'm also giving away a free cheat sheet as part of that first month of 7 months of mastery. And in that free cheat sheet, I'm giving away my top 5 openers, both direct and indirect. So basically when you walk up to a girl, you're gonna know exactly what to say, you're gonna know exactly what to do in practically any situation you come across, okay? Because all of the lessons that I teach you in 7 months of mastery have already been field tested. They've been field tested by me over the last 2.5 decades, okay? So you don't have to go through the trial and error and getting rejected. I've already gone through the pain, failure, and rejection for you. All you have to do is go out there and apply the lessons that I teach you in 7 months of mastery. Are you never gonna get rejected? Of course not. Of course you're gonna get rejected. It's part of the game, right? It's mostly part of a shit test that the girl gives you. And even then, as part of my free cheat sheet, I give you my top 5 responses to her most common objections, her most common shit test she's gonna give you, like, oh, I'm sorry, thank you, but I have a boyfriend, which over half the time is a lie. Most of the time she's just telling you that to get rid of you, to see if you will push even further. Other times she might tell you something like, oh, you're not my type, you know, which is another shit test. It's another objection that you can overcome. And I give you my top 5 responses for those objections as well. This is all part of my free cheat sheet on top of the entire month of coaching lessons you get in that very first month of 7 months of mastery. And right now I'm giving it all away for just $1 for the entire first month. So definitely take advantage of it. It's real simple. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video.